Okay. Assalamualaikum and hi. A very good morning to the viewers. Okay, me myself is Muhammad Ashraf bin Kamaldin. Today I would like to give you an information. Topic is I would like to tell you about 10 advantage and 10 disadvantage about routing your device, which is for Android operating system. Before I start our conversation and explain to you all about this topic, I would like to give you about tell you about what is routing. Okay, routing Android is one of the biggest unique selling point about Android is the fact that it's so flexible and malleable. While Apple iOS vocabulary of the packaging is also more close in the Android, which is why Google popular operating system has been such a hit among the developers. To truly understand just how much you can do with an Android, so you have to root it. Okay, what does routing even mean? Okay, I would like to tell you that before we get into the pros and cons of the routing Android device, let's look at what routing Android involves. In the simplest terms, routings mean getting root access or administrative privilege for your device. You may have paid for your Android device, but it's worth nothing that no matter how much or little you pay, the internet of the device are still locked away. To think of it, as operating on a desktop computer through a user account, you get to take advantage most of the feature of the phone, but you cannot do anything without administrative. It means that you is the boss of your handphone and you can alter it no matter where you are and which place are you in. So routing Android device give you exactly that for your device. It make you the administrator of your phones and not just a user. Android device give you the exactly that for your device. It make you the administrator of your phones and not just a typical user. You know what I mean, right? Not a typical user. Okay. With great power, however, come with great responsibility. You have more things in your hand, and some of the security and protection that you take for granted on your unrooted device will not work on the rooted one. Still, you do get the entire control over your device. You can browse the Android root folder and make change to the system file, which means altering and installing of removing some of the key element of your phone. Rooting Android device gives you total control over the entire Android system. You can use and download all the block feature and tools, but this power comes with some risk. A lot of the block feature and tools are present to protect you from malware. Okay, for example, I give you Samsung make up a new software, but the member and the user is root his phone and but so they cannot install the software because of the rooted phone and the software become unoriginal. Therefore, they cannot install the software that provided by the developer, Samsung developer. Okay. So good to previously continue. Let's be optimistic and get to the advantage first. Okay, I would like to tell you 10 advantage of rooting your Android device. Okay, first, rooting Android is the installation of custom ROM, which is unoriginal and BS original one. So this custom ROM you can get from the other pages such as like FanMade and others. Okay, you can install a custom ROM or kernel after you root your device, which essentially means you get a new device software wise. In fact, this is often the biggest reason for people to root their device. Custom ROM offers several performance fixes and tweaks to your system and are typically more user friendly than stock one. They are optimized for battery and performance and update more frequently than stock ROM does. For number 2, rooting Android number 2. The advantage is removing pre-installed OEM apps. What is OEM? OEM is the basic and the original apps that are pre-installed whenever you buy the Android system or handphones, smartphones that have Android device in it. Okay, every Android phones come with a bunch of apps directly from the manufacturer. Some of them are good, but most of them are plain useless, if not worse, and you cannot even remove them. Once you root your device, however, all those apps can go away and you can get the most of the machine. Advantage number 3. Rooting Android for ad blocking for all apps. Ad blocking is a simple on a web browser, but it gets infinitely more complicated on a smartphone or device. Pop-up are considered a regular problem in the most game and apps, but rooting takes care of it all immediately. Advantage number 4, which is rooting Android, installing incompatible apps. Some of the best apps right now may not even be completed with your phones, but rooting Android gives you access to all the apps you can find. You even get to the latest Android updates before your phone maker releases owns. Plus, bonus feature, you can run special applications that require root access, which are generally more power and feature rich than other apps. This application directly deal with the Android system file, tweaking your Android operation system more extensively than other surface level apps can. For instance, you could suddenly uninstall several applications after you download or uninstall with your root access. Advantage number 5, rooting Android, which is more display option and internal storage. What is mean by that? It means that most devices come with 3 to 4 default skins to choose from, but rooting Android phone lets you install new ROM to fully customize and tweak your device skins for a truly unique display. Another big benefit is that rooting Android frees up your device internal storage. People with low internal storage space can transfer wherever application they want to do the SD card after they root the device. Advantage number 6, rooting Android. This is the most common people that want to have in their Android device, and especially for their phone, the smartphones, which is greater battery life and speeds. While most of above benefits have been largely cosmetic and convenience based, this is one is more practical benefits. Rooting Android helps unlock the full potential of your phone. You can use apps like Greenify to close useless application automatically, effectively improving your device performance, but it does not root access. But it does need to root your handphone to get the access to the application. Advantage number 7, rooting Android making full device backup. When you have an unrooted device, Android device, you can only backup so many things like your apps or some setting unrooted. However, you will find plenty of apps like Titanium that will entirely backup your rooted device. Advantage number 8, rooting Android get access to your rooted file. It explains that when you are rooting your Android device, you have access to number of files, section and part of your device that would otherwise not be able. This is what gives you so much access and freedom to do what you want with your device. You can using existing apps or with a little knowledge, tweak the file and section of your device yourself. Advantage number 9, which is for gamer, they all must root this device to get this power, which is CPU clocking. Unrooted device typically do not have CPU clocking capability, which enable you to increase and or decrease the CPU or processor speeds of your device. Increasing power of the processor clock speed may help you to extract maximum performance, while lowering it help to extend battery life. No frills CPU control is one such device that this with yes, and it is free from Google Play. You can find other apps that quickly let you to control of your CPU performance without worrying about the technical term or setting, and while ensuring that the device is working within the safe limit. And lastly, advantage number 10, rooting Android device more is capable of more tweaking, which is with a rooted Android device, you can configure and optimize your device for a customized feel and for better performance, and Android can be tweaked to significant extent, which is why it's so popular in the first place. Depending on what you want with your device, you can make several changes. That's all for the 10 advantage, and we will continue with the 10 disadvantage of rooting Android device. Hi, hello, we back again. Okay, we will continue our discussion with more detail about the disadvantage of rooting your device. Oops, for technical problem, I got to apologize that we only have 6 disadvantage only, rather than 10 disadvantage for the rooting device. Okay, first of all, for the first rooting Android, which is it can break your device. Yes, it can break it. One of most of the common threats to the rooted Android device is misoperation, which could turn to your device into the expensive, unusable brick. To avoid this, you should always get your apps from reliable source like Google Play, and do not delete file the rooting app. Suggest not to do it. The risk of ending up breaking your phone is even greater if you are new to rooting. You can find some pretty detailed tutorial on the internet to root your device, but it can still be a daunting task. If you flash a corrupt zip file or miss any step, you will likely to break your device. For disadvantage number 2, rooting Android device can break your warranty. Yes, no more warranty. Another big disadvantage of rooting Android is the fact that you will lose your device warranty. Device maker will not cover the damage caused after you root the device, or if you realize that the phone was bricked while it was being rooted. In some device, you can still unroot the device after a rooting, so the device maker do not know whether you rooted it or not. Rooted number 3 Android is root and super user access. It means that having root access sounds amazing, right? And it is too, right up until things go wrong, a wrong setting or moving the wrong item into the wrong place and the wrong time can cause huge problem. Similarly, for CPU, clocking can also turn out to be a disadvantage. Overclocking or increasing processor power speed can maximize performance but also come with the risk of overheating your device. Advantage number 4, rooting Android will have a tweaking risk. There are also risks that come with tweaking your device. What will happen when you adjust certain setting? That worst case scenario is that you will break the device, but another likely situation is that nothing will happen, which is so frustrating too. But next up is number 5. Rooting Android have an ad blocking. Ad blocking is listed as an advantage, so how it can be disadvantage to rooting? Well, the truth is that those ads generate revenue for developers, which is used to further develop the app and give you, the customer, more future. Is if too many people root the device and block these ads, it translates to revenue loss, causing a big problem for developer and you in the long run. Apart from that, changing or editing the ads manually for blocking ads could turn the apps is useless. And for the last is number 6, which is rooting Android updates problems. A good thing about unrooted Android device is that the system update, no matter how late it's come, we will definitely install and work well. The risk with rooted device is that this may not happen because of you may not find that automated firmware update may not be working. In some cases, update will not install because of software modification made up during the rooting process itself. And for the simplest way to talk, that your phone is not original yet. So, how was that? And for the conclusions, I will take to that. Now that you can know that the pros and cons of the rooting Android, you should be able to make an informed decision on whether it is worth the hassle and risk or not. It's all depend on how much risk you are willing to take, the kind of usage you have with your phone, and what your expectations are. If you choose to root with cautions. You may have also noted that some of the pros and cons are very similar to each other. That is, in fact, the greatest benefit and the downside of Android itself. It gives you immense power, but you also have to be careful with the power. Your decision should be based on your answer to this question. Okay, but what is I tell you about? The great power come with great responsibility. Okay, that's all for today. Bye.